Hello and welcome to this meditation on approaching difficulty. We often anticipate that things will feel worse if we try to solve or examine a problem or difficulty or challenge that we have in our lives. We think we might become overwhelmed with emotions. But actually, usually we feel better. And this is because it takes a lot of energy to suppress our emotions. And getting in touch with the source of your anxiety or the problem or the decision you need to make can help you feel more centered, can help you feel more in control. And whilst it may feel a bit uncomfortable or slightly overwhelming or a bit vulnerable to begin with, in creating this space, this is where your best wisdom can arise. This is where your best wisdom can emerge and come through. Okay, so let's begin by thinking on a difficulty or a problem or a challenge that you have currently in your life. And so we're not looking like for a big iceberg size of a problem or difficulty, just something quite small, like an ice cubed size problem or difficulty. Okay, so just holding that in mind. And let's take our posture now for the meditation. And so coming to sit in a chair where you can have both feet flat on the ground so that you're well supported. Your back is supported. You can sit in a way that is alert and awake. So you're sitting upright, not too stiff, not too tense, but simply just gently upright and alert. And both feet flat on the ground. Let your shoulders be relaxed, checking in with your shoulders. Let your arms be heavy by your sides. With your hands gently resting in your lap with the palms facing up to the sky. And then gently closing your eyes if that is comfortable for you, or else simply lowering your gaze, Let's take a couple of deep breaths here together. So breathing in and out. In and out. And so the intention for this meditation on approaching difficulty is to dissolve the surrounding fear and anxiety. The intention is that we might open up a more meaningful perspective, a more helpful relationship with a challenge or decision or difficulty. And so the invitation is for you to come into this meditation with an attitude of being the observer. So becoming detached as much as you can, as much as is possible for you, becoming detached from the difficulty and observing it with curiosity and openness and with somewhat of a light touch. Because as we go into this, we're not trying to analyze or fix or change the difficulty. We're simply looking to bring our whole attention to it in a way, in an observing way that will help create a different and perhaps a more illuminating perspective for us from a place of a deeper awareness inside. And so perhaps coming into the meditation and view what is arising more like a movie that you're watching rather than a movie that you are starring in. And breathe in, breathe out. And on the next exhalation, let's take your difficulty and place it, imagine placing it on a workbench in your mind. So you're taking your difficulty and putting it on a workbench in your mind, and then moving some distance away, as if you're viewing the difficulty or the challenge from Google Earth, from high up with a bird's eye view. Remaining connected to the breath, breathing in, connect to the breath, breathe in and out. Stay with the breath, and as you have this high up with a bird's eye view, what kind of appearance does your difficulty have? Does it look dense? Is it solid? Does it have any color at all? And perhaps is it moving? Is it moving and spinning, or completely stationary and not moving at all? You know, for some of us, there may be no visual appearance at all. Maybe it's much more of a feeling sense, a felt sense in the body. So how actually does it feel? Held at this distance. Maybe it's feeling a little tense, contracted, tightly wound up. And as you're noticing the feelings, also come now to connect with the thoughts that are coming into your mind. And observing any thoughts that are arising with curiosity. And then on the next exhalation, releasing this bird's eye view and stepping in closer now, so that you're about maybe 4 or 5 feet away from the difficulty as it is perched, situated on the workbench in your mind. And now you can walk around the workbench. So you can see your difficulty from all angles, but remaining still a detached observer, observing the difficulty from this distance. And do you notice any emotions arising from here? You know, perhaps a sense of being a bit tangled, a sense of some messiness, like messy, mixed up strands of a ball of string. You know, often disagreements and upsets, they can be caused by cross wires in communication, cross purposes, people speaking at cross purposes. And sometimes our problems or decisions can seem muddled, messy, tangled. And is that what you have a sense of here, perhaps? Try and be specific. And what are any body sensations? As you're noticing the breath, is there any other sensations that you notice in the body as you're walking around and observing your difficulty on the workbench of your mind? And as you breathe out, releasing this view of the difficulty to come right close now. So stepping in so that you can almost touch your difficulty with your gaze. So now you can really deeply explore and examine all of the visual aspects of it. And as you get closer, do you have a sense perhaps of being able to unpick or untangle all of that messiness, all of those cross wires, the muddle. Perhaps can you also have a sense of easing your grip, softening, having more of a light touch. And as you continue to walk around, does your difficulty look the same or different from different angles? Looking across the top and underneath. Again, what thoughts arise? Try not to get into a planning mode, simply unpacking and opening up the difficulty to be examined in more detail and remaining a detached observer as you walk around the workbench in your mind. And then breathing in, breathing out. And after the next exhalation, take a deeper inhale. And then on the next exhale, step away from the workbench in your mind and let the difficulty go. Let it go. And watch it disappearing, spinning out into space, spinning away, disappearing. It might be disappearing much like the credits at the end of a movie, just rolling away, just disappearing out of sight. Letting your attention now come back to rest on the breath. Breathing now and filling the whole body with a sense of cleansing breaths. Breathing all the way from the tips of the toes, up through the body and all the way to the top of the head. Deep cleansing breaths, breathing in and out. So taking now a couple of more deep breaths. Expanding the chest, let it be quite open. Stretching up and open the shoulders, bringing movement to your arms and to your fingers and maybe to your toes. Opening up the body and breathing more deeply as you calm to gently open your eyes. And come back into the room. So I hope you found that meditation on approaching difficulty helpful in bringing some illuminating perspective, a different perspective to your problem or your difficulty. And it's a meditation you can return to time and time again. So thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and please leave any comments below. Thank you.